Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and consider liking this video. Right now we're about to head down to the exhaust shop to have my brand new Valvetronic designed mufflers installed on my BMW. One really cool thing, if you guys don't know what Valvetronic exhausts are, essentially they're valved exhaust. Basically, if I want my car to be quiet or like stock, I have the convenience of doing that at the push of a button, and if I press the other button, I can have the valves open up like a muffler delete. So we're going down to the exhaust to have that installed, and then we're gonna have to wire it all up, so we're gonna do that later today. They're just welding on the mufflers to the car and putting the tips on, and then we'll go back, install all the wiring and vacuum lines and see how it compares. One thing that I haven't seen on YouTube is how this muffler, or how these mufflers sound compared to the stock mufflers when the valves are shut. I really want to know if it's quieter or louder. Obviously when they're open, it's going to be like I have a muffler delete. So I'll catch you guys down at the shop and I'll show you everything that we have. So like I mentioned, I did want to give you guys a quick look at the exhaust. Here are the actual mufflers. Beautiful. We have two of these and they are valved. Like I mentioned, we have the line for the valves, and in here it looks like we have the controller, and we have all the wiring and the clicker to actually change it, and then those are our tips, and here's our other muffler right here, which these things are going to sound amazing. Alright guys, so we're now back. The exhaust is installed. Lou's Custom Exhaust in Brockton, Massachusetts were the ones that did it. They did an amazing job. The two guys working on the car were so good. They made sure the fitment was like 100%, like super good fitment. Really happy with it. They did some really good welding. Obviously I gotta clean up the tips a little just from like driving around and stuff like that, but I'm definitely gonna polish the tips because they're nice chrome tips. Super aggressive. I really like the look of it. But now we're going to wire it up, so I want to show you guys everything that we have to do to wire it up, and every application is different. Obviously, if you want to use the cigarette lighter and plug the pump in for the vacuum actuated valves, you can, but I'm going to hardwire it into my car just because it's going to be in the trunk. It's going to look super clean. And yes, I will say, I'll give you guys right now that these sound a little louder than stock, which I kind of like it for a daily driver. Just a little louder. Kind of sounds like my E46 with like the valve delete, because it just sounds so good. Just a little louder, but I'm really excited to see how this exhaust is going to sound with the valves open. Essentially it's a muffler delete. So let me show you guys what we have, and let's jack up the car and get to work. So here's everything we have. We have the vacuum pump, we have the silicone vacuum line, which is super nice. We have a T-splitter since we do have two mufflers. This is a little antenna for the signal for this clicker. And the best thing about this clicker, one, well, they already include batteries. It looks super cool, the key alone, but I can hook this up to my garage door opener on my car, and I can click and the valves will open or shut. And then here's the power source. See right there how it's a cigarette lighter. We're just gonna cut it, and then we have some ring terminals for the negative, and then we're gonna put tap a fuse for the positive, and there we go. That will be that, and it will turn on and off with the car. Don't need to worry about anything else, and it's gonna fit super clean. We're gonna leave this in the trunk. We're gonna run one line through a grommet, and then we're gonna tee it out under the car. So let's jack up the car and see what we have to do. All right, well, car's jacked up. We're gonna start taking stuff apart in the trunk. Like I said, this is going to be different for everyone's car, but this is just what I'm doing for my car. All right, just to update everyone, I think I'm gonna run the vacuum line. I'm gonna put a small little slit in this piece of rubber and it feeds out right under the car, and that will give me good access to be able to run the vacuum lines to the mufflers. And then I don't know where I'm gonna sit the module. It may sit down here or it may sit back here, and my fuse panel is right there, which is super easy to wire up. So we're gonna take a look and see what we can do. So as you can see, I put a small little hole in there, ran the wire down, and I'll show you where it comes out on the other side. And then that hole comes out right here, and I pulled back this heat shield just a little bit, and then we're gonna tie it up somewhere there, probably somewhere around there, tee it off, and then run it around to this exhaust tip right here and to the other one over there. It's super simple to install. It's just really finding where you can get a grommet to get this to the outside of the car. So let's figure out where the controller is gonna go now, and then we can start cutting some lines. All right, so it looks like the Valvetronic, the controller is gonna sit right back here. This little box still fits in great, which that's my number one concern, is that this fits perfectly and I don't have to see it, I don't have to look at it, it will fit. This will just go super good. I don't wanna have to see any of this. I want it to look very good. I saw you could put it down here. There's a big space there, but I keep that for storage. I want to keep that for storage. So we're gonna run the vacuum line up and around here, back here, and we'll see how it goes. So this is how it's currently looking. We have the Valvetronic controller right here, ran the vacuum line all down here. It's gonna be tucked in here, out that little grommet that we see right there, and then comes down here, and then we're gonna tee it off. So here's what I did. I ran it through that grommet. We have this line going to one muffler right here, runs around and plugs in. Plugs in, you can't really see it, but it plugs in right here. So that runs all the way around usually where a tire would go, but obviously new BMWs run flat, so then we ran it all around here. I still have to cut this one. I just want to make sure this is how I want it. Kind of sticks out a little too far, so I'm still playing with that, but we run it all around and around the heat shielding, and then back around to this muffler and into the trunk. So it's all set, it's wired, all the vacuum lines are wired up. Now I could either plug this system in right now to see if it works, or I could do the hard line where I cut it and then put a tap of fuse. So to give you guys another update, I did test out the system and it works. I have the box right back here like I mentioned, and then right here I have the positive and negative, and I'm pulling it out. I have a tap of fuse right here, and it looks like we're gonna use this fuse, the N1, and I think it's for the defroster or something. So we're gonna try using that, and then we have a ground set up right here that we're gonna put the nut back on, and yeah, so then this thing will be hardwired and will be super nice, so I don't have to worry about any 12 volt plugs or anything like that. And I did isolate this a little. I put some Velcro on it because it was moving around. It's kind of loud just because it is hitting against plastic, so I did that. And yeah, once I have it buttoned up, I'll show you guys. So here's a look at what I did. It's super clean. We have the red coming down from the fuse. We put some shrink wrap over the connector so you can't see it, some Tessa tape for where I sliced the cable, and then we have this lead coming out, which is gonna hit to our ground, which is right here, and then it's wired. It's 100% wired, and we can start putting the car back. All right, so I've been driving around with the Valvetronic exhaust system in my BMW for quite some time. It's probably maybe like a week and a half later since installing it. You guys saw me install it. And so far I'm absolutely loving it. I love being able to change the sound of the exhaust at the touch of a button. It's super simple. I have my garage door opener programmed, so I can press 1 to open the valves and 2 to close the valves. Absolutely love it. And I also have this, which is like a key that I can press to open and close the valves right here. So there's 2 buttons and you have them programmed. So right now I just want to give you guys a sound test. I want to show you what my car sounds like stock. I want to show you what it sounds like with the valves closed and then with the valves open, which is essentially a muffler delete. Like I said, I had 2 mufflers installed in this car and you saw that in this video. But let's jump to that and then we'll close up the video and I'll let you know what I think. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that sound comparison and hearing the difference between all 3 of the exhaust stock, Valvetronic closed, Valvetronic open. Definitely huge difference with the valves open. So first thing I want to say, like I already mentioned, is I absolutely love it. I love the sound. The muffler delete is like the perfect combination for the N55. I really like the way it sounds, especially when I get on full throttle and it shifts in Sport Plus mode. It goes burp. You must hear like it blipping. It sounds so cool. I really love the sound of it. It doesn't drone at all when you're driving around, just normal. It sounds good. It has a deep sound to it. You can even hear some pops. It backfires a little. So I'm curious to see what a downpipe will do. I'm thinking about going with a catless downpipe. Let me know what you guys want to see. Like I said, I've also loved to get a system like this on the E46. It's just a little more difficult since the E46 has 2 pipes straight back, where this has 1 on each side since it has 2 mufflers. But if you guys like this exhaust and you want to check it out, I'll have it linked down below. They make many different exhausts for many different BMWs and other cars, especially some more exotic cars. They have all different muffler systems and full exhaust systems from catback, and even they sell their own downpipes too. So check out Valvetronic. I really like the products. This is really the best combination for daily drivers, having a Valvetronic exhaust without a touch of a button. My garage door opener, it looks super simple, super OEM plus essentially, because it's being controlled through the car, and it sounds great, looks great, and I'm in love with it. So let me know what you guys think of this exhaust. If you guys like it, hate it, like exhaust in general. I think this is the best exhaust for a daily driver, just due to the fact that I can close the valves at a touch of the button. The OEM plus in my opinion, because I can control it with the garage door opener. No other things can be seen, and from the outside and inside the trunk, you couldn't tell I had this exhaust installed because I hid it so well. It's hid behind all of the panels, and I even used a Tapa fuse, so it's hardwired in, and it just looks super clean. Really love the way the install came out. I was beyond happy with how clean it came out, and there's enough room for my car to store the module. But let me know what you guys think. Check out my links down below for ECS, Amazon, since they help out the channel and allow me to do cool projects, and a huge shout out to Valvetronic for making this possible.